Welcome back, guys. This is the ZX Show. I'm your boy, Starboy Jay. And of course, this is season 4, the finale. And I'm here with a special guest today. I think, judging by who's talking, y'all know it might be a little bit different this episode. He's already talking out of line. But of course, our guest today is Alex Salazar, aka the main gang, and then the main fish was boing, whatever you try.
I forgot.
You said what?
I was supposed to bring in merch, but I forgot.
We working on that.
We were go broke today. Working on that.
So
Show hasn't been polling. Anyway.
Usually, other guests come in and this guy's interviewing, but now I'm taking the reins for the day. So of course, I'm about to ask you some questions. You already know.
Before you move on, I just want to say something real quick. The ZX Show has been one of the most proudest thing I've ever done. Just because of like the people I meet, and one of the very first people that I met that I was like, this person should interview me was Jay, and Marcel, I guess. He's back there, but Jay because he was, and besides Adam, he was one of the most raw telling story on the show. Adam was very open. I think me and Adam's episode was very graphic. Just based on what we talked about, right? We talked about suicide, we talked about drugs, we talked about addiction, we talked about father, we talked about a lot of things that is a touchy subject, but in a way it was also needed for him and I. I talked about my grandmother, he talked about his father, and with Jay, I did a throwback Thursday today because I uploaded his video and his advice on mental health. But the reason why I chose Jay was because, first of all, he asked me, and I was never asked to do it before, so that was pretty cool. But he was very honest, and even after the show, he was always honest. Hey, bro, you got this on your hair, or hey, bro, he's always looking out for me. So I'm always like, hey, all right, cool. And what made it more poetic was that I was going through something not too long ago, and he was the first few people that texted me, like, "Hey, you good?" And that's where it was the icing cake for me. So I'm very happy to be here with you, my boy.
You already know. Yes.
Go ahead, dude. Take the floor.
Dude, take the floor. Yeah. But now I gotta say something. I mean, I can't one up that, but I will say that like it has been a huge honor working with you, man. Because like being honest with you, when I first came here, like I said previously before, like I didn't know what I was really doing here. Mm-hmm. And of course, like I was trying to find like my place of, like finding like a spot to be in, maybe like have a group of friends. And then I found this whole cast and crew interviewing people, getting real deep, talking about mental health and all that. I was like, I want to be there. So of course, when you said like, yeah, I could tag along, or yeah, I could interview, like it really like it means a lot to me. You know what I mean? Because it feels like I found like a new home in a sense. So of course, I appreciate you being my brother. Yes. That's another reason why I like him. He's goofy as shit. Like he can match it. Anyway.
Oh, let's go. I'm kind of nervous, but
get serious. This should be an easy one because I already asked you this a bunch of times. Mm-hmm. What's the origin of the name of the show?
Okay,
for those who don't know.
For those who don't know, I was a kid with ADHD, meaning that I could not stay in one place at the wrong time, right? Rather that I was in class, church, wherever. I was just that kid that couldn't stay in one spot. So I was also the kid to look at things very differently. Like I'll see the color blue and I'll be like imagining clouds and start putting things together like a painting. So one day I was in class and I noticed a line graph where it was negative numbers on the left, positive numbers on the right, but always in the middle was the zero, right? And I thought to myself at a young age, like, that's where I want to be as a person. I don't want to be so negative that people don't like me, and I don't want to be overly positive where people think I'm fake. Yeah. I want to be right there in the middle where people can genuinely have a conversation with me. Be neutral, not like overly this person, overly that person. I like to say I'm a very neutral person. I'm not too much of something. I'm not too less of anything. I try to stay neutral. Because I think my whole life is always, shout out, Shay. My life has been consistent. No, it's okay. But my life has always been not bad, but not good. Not too good, but not too bad either. So it's always been in the middle, if I like to say, right? What came up with the ZX show, before I even go there, I started to call myself a zero because I went through like this whole ego death thing, and I told myself that I'm no better than anybody. I'm gonna always be humble. And I started to realize at such a young age that other people have so much ego to the point where they're delusional, to the point where they're just like, you know what I mean? So for me, my ego death was when my grandma died. That's when I was like, you know, all right, I'm just a human being. And that's where I realized that people can pass away anytime soon. Right. That right there, just like my whole perspective of life, my whole ego of like wanting to be the best or something like that. Like just my ego itself, like it died off right there.
Realize your mortality right there.
Right. I realized my mortality, like that, you know, because it messes with you, right? Like at a young age, you think like you'll live forever. Your parents will live forever. Your dog, your grandma, your grandpa. But then when you lose, I'm going to be 80 years old. Yeah. But here's the thing. She wasn't even that old. She was only like, I think in her 40s.
Oh, wow.
She was 50, 40. Well, because my mom had me young. So my grandma was obviously young too. So when I said my grandma, she wasn't like 70 or 60. She was like 40. Like 40. But the word zero came from Z. And then I called, the next word was XOR. The reason why I had that was I noted that the X symbol was meaning towards world. And then the OUR was our. So it was going to be zero, our world, zero. Which made no sense. And even just saying that to this day made no sense to me. But it's short. And I called it ZX because I wanted to keep that same definition of having no ego, being neutral, keep that same character, but transfer it over to myself. What in advance that I didn't notice is that my first and last name has ZX on it. So I didn't even realize that point. So when I first made 0XOR, I didn't realize that Z and X was also in my name. So it kind of all went full circle anyways. My name is Alex Salazar. X is Z. Yeah, right? Like, I didn't notice that. I didn't even think that was possible. Like, it just came back full circle. So one day, I was here. We this equipment room that you guys see here, the reason why this is our background was because first of all, I cleaned this whole thing by myself. And Nick, shout out Nick. But this wasn't like put together with how it should be. I literally had to change it up. So what you guys see now, it wasn't here before. Like all this equipment was all like bundled up and trashed. We cleared it up. We made some adjustments. We cleaned it so much that my boss was happy, and I asked her for one request, just one request. Okay. Can we put a TV in the equipment room? And we have. I said, can I have just one request? And I said, I just want the TV to be in the studio, in the equipment room.
So she say around. Huh?
She said, yeah. Me and Kevin, shout out Kevin. This is the first episode. This is how it happened. Me and Kevin would play Spark and Zero, and we will always play together. And shout out Kevin. But we're always playing here. And then one day,
I'm gonna get my leg back, Kevin.
I worked at a podcast network before. Got sick and tired of it. Left. Good people, right? Good establishment. I just left for my own reasons, right? But when I left, I said, man, every time I was behind the scenes, I was like, I could do that. Right. I could do it better.
Oh.
But look, it wasn't a competition thing. It was just in my mind, like, I know that I can do better. Because it's not an ego thing where I'm like, oh, I'm better than that person. No. It's just being behind the scenes so much, you get to now see, like, okay, they have this camera all messed up. The settings is not right. That's why it looks like that.
Right. And you learned from their mistakes too.
Exactly.
Boom.
Literally.
Sounds familiar.
What? I literally was like, screw it. I'm going to do a podcast. I asked Kevin, hey, I want to play video games and do a podcast. Are you down? Literally texted him just one night. I'm like, are you down? Yeah, I'm down. I grabbed everything. I literally went to Walmart. I bought a video capture card, 2 capture cards. I plugged everything by myself. I was on my laptop. First episode, I didn't have the crew at first. First season, I didn't have the crew. Except for Marcel's episode because he wanted to be a little special. But I didn't have a crew for the first season. It was just me, my laptop, my and not even my switcher. Now I have a switcher, but it was me, my capture cards, and myself. And no questions were prepared. it was just off the dome. I had a few things in mind, but once I sat in the seat, the same seat I'm sitting in right now, it just left.
And how long have you been doing this for?
About a year. I would say podcasting for a year. The show, I've been doing it for about, I think we're on our 7 to 6 months.
No, let this mean die, please.
But we're on our 7 to 6 months now.
That leads me to the next question. I was gonna say, did you ever think you'd get this far?
No. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. After the first episode, I was super nervous. Like, super incredibly nervous. Like, I was like, is the show going to do good? Are people going to like it? Is it too different? Like, I was genuinely like, man, I don't know if I'm going to do another one. And I had a lot of things going on behind the scenes. I had a wife coming up, right? Because I started the show, like, I think 3 weeks before my wedding. So add on top of more BS. I have this.
Shout out to the missus. I know you was patient the whole time. Oh, even this motherfucker doing a show.
I know she was really cool. And I'll tell you this, she was one of the reasons why I kept going. Like, every day she was like, that was a great. She would listen. Like, she herself would listen in the car on the way to work, and she'll tell me, "Oh, I love this episode. Oh, I love the episode you did with this person." And then she'll be like, "Why didn't you edit this part out?"
Like, or maybe you said a little too much. Big deep question. Okay. What's your favorite episode? Be honest.
Favorite?
Be real. Be real.
So when people say they don't got a favorite, they're lying to you.
Mm.
I'll say I have a Mount Rushmore of episodes.
Okay.
Man, Josh, the first one, he's up there. Just because Josh started with me from the very beginning. He's been with me ever since, and he's still doing his thing. And Josh is one of those. Shout out Josh. Josh is one of those people where all I see is potential, and all I see is wherever room he goes to, he can dominate that room. Like, seriously, that's what I see in Josh. Marcel, the first one, it really gave me an inside depth of friendship and even my own personal, like, how disciplined he is. I'm trying to be disciplined like that too. Like, I see this man sharp every day, always on time. Well,
smell good, look good, clean.
But he always tries to be on top of it. And he's doing a lot. Like, he's traveling because of his job, and he's still being here working every day. And so he's one of those students that does genuinely come up to me and be like, yo, can we do this? Can we do that? And I genuinely help him out. And the last two, man, Glenetta and Brian. Just because of the story, it was the first two stories that I was like watching back in my head all the time. Like, to see Glenetta's story and Brian's story kind of like mashed together because they're mother and father. Mother and son, right? They're mother and son. And you're telling from the mom's perspective of how she messed up and how it affected her, not only her, but her kids, and seeing from that perspective. And now you're seeing it from the oldest son, or I think he's the oldest, or like in the middle child, right? He's oldest, right? He's oldest. So the oldest son, seeing what he had to go through with his mother being the way she was.
Get two different sides of the same
coin. Was the first. That, honestly, going back to your question now, that actually was the reason why I kept going forward after season 2. Because I ain't gonna lie, I thought I was gonna do season 1, then do season 2, and then I wasn't gonna do season 3. But we did season 3.
I mean, I don't want to dwell on it too much, but like, what made you think like, maybe I shouldn't go to season 3? Like, what happened there? Like,
it was just like, because we were doing well, but to me mentally, I didn't know where I was at. Like, I love the show, I love doing the show, but it wasn't like I was loving myself behind the scenes. Like, it was really hard to be on the mic sometimes, because back in my room, I was crying, or I was a little depressed, or the fact that, like, I had to do this even though I'm not 100% there. The reason why I kept going was because I started watching the videos. I don't watch my own videos. I really don't. I don't watch my own episodes because I lived through it. I don't need to watch it back because I lived through it, right? I'm the type of person where once something's dropped, I'm done. I'm not watching it. I'll look back at the clips on Instagram, whatever, but like, I'm done because I really lived through this experience.
Right.
Our conversation.
We already talked already, man. Why I gotta watch the whole thing back? How long we recorded for? Hour. Damn. I gotta sit through the whole video again?
That's why I'm the editor, bro.
But yeah, like, oh
but
my goodness.
but yeah, like to me, like season 3 was such a like not a burden, but like so far in my mind where I didn't think about it too much until we started the crew. That is genuinely another part of the reason why I love doing the show too. Like the crew after season 3, like you joined, Eric joined. Like after that, I was happy because it started with Adam, it started with Joshua, it started with Breon, then it eventually went to you guys and Eric, and now we have a whole bunch of people that want to join the show. Now I really want to continue this because not only do I see the impact it did for me, but also the impact that it did for other people as well.
Mm. Okay, okay. And now, like going bouncing around a little bit here, um, as you started to continue to make episodes, and of course like organize like episodes and put together a crew and cast and all these skits and things of that nature. Of course, without a shadow of a doubt, you're the face of this whole operation, man. Like let's be for real, let's be honest. You don't see Eric pulling up saying "Welcome to the ZX show." You'll see me. Because this is just a special chance.
He keep Eric away from the mic sometimes.
Oh boy, I can't wait till the bloopers come out. Anyway, but I was gonna say
you actually
I have no shame in all numbers.
Before we start, the people I keep away from the mic sometimes is Adam, Joshua, basically everybody.
I got no shame in my bloopers. Anything crazy, I don't mean. But
shout out Eric. I love him.
Yeah. Put it on Eric. Anyway, I was gonna
Adam
say
too. I love Adam, but
he crazy on the mic too. My fault, Adam. I'm sorry. But anyway, the question was, as you like put together all of this stuff and you're organizing things and skits and all that. Like I said, you're the face of this operation, and the question is that like you're the leader, and I know that we've talked about like family and like, supporters and all that, but like, what is it like when things get dark outside for you? Because again, you're the face of this whole thing.
Right.
Like what do you do in those times? Especially with this goal.
I'm the type where it's hard for me to find a solution just because of my emotions. Like I can be doing a lot of things and I could be depressed while doing it. That's just how I am. And the reason why that is because my body can't stop working and my mind could be somewhere else, but my body just keeps going. I'll call it the Mexican mindset, basically, because I've seen my dad depress like in small ways. Like he would just stare at the floor. Like I caught him one time just staring at the floor. And as a kid, I didn't understand it. Like I asked him, "What are you doing?" But when he looked up and he looked puzzled, and then he just kept doing what he was doing, I know that I'm doing that now. Like I was just start thinking, stare into the abyss, like whatever, and then I'll just jump back because my wife just called me or anything like that. Like because I'm so much working or I'm doing stuff all the time, my body naturally just ignores it, right? I'm still thinking about it, but the thing is that my bottle gets filled to the point where sometimes I'll explode. And in those moments, and that's why I love the show, because I learned a lot about myself through this show. Throughout this whole show, I've got better in my mental health. I realized a bunch of things about myself that I didn't realize before. And I realized one crucial thing, and that was I was secretly depressed. Like that took me a while to realize, oh, well, I am feeling sad. Never told myself that. I remember I was going out. I forgot who episode I was doing, but I think it was actually before Marcel's actually the last episode. Before I left for work, my wife was cooking dinner, and I was about to leave, and I just stopped and I just looked up. It was a small like down the stairs type of thing. Like it's a little small hallway stairs. So once you open the door, there's like two doors. One door is to open it, get down the stairway, and there's another door to another stairway where we just go out. Right. Right when I'm about to get to the second door, I'm hearing her about to close the first door behind me, and I just like, hey, and she's like, what's up? I'm like, I think I'm depressed, and I laughed. Like I just straight up laughed. I was like, I think I'm depressed, and I started laughing.
Like, damn.
Like it hit me exactly in that moment. It was so weird. I just look at her and I said, I think I'm depressed. And she kind of just like, she didn't know what to do. She just kind of like looked at me like, all like concerned. And then I just walked off. And then like on the way there, I listened to Kendrick Lamar. And I was just bumming my music. That's how unorganized it is. Like I would say something, get in my car, listen to the music, and not think about it.
Wow.
And that's how it is. Now, I had a situation not too long ago where I had to confront my anger. And I left Chicago. And I went all the way to Indiana because I felt like restarting my whole life. In one night, I made two decisions. One, wanted to restart my life. And two, I was okay with that. I was looking at apartments. I was about to sleep, parked outside of a hotel in Indiana. I was going to sleep there, knowing I have everything in Chicago. Family, you guys, my wife, everything. Even though I know I have all that, I was so dark in my head that I felt like I just needed to reset and I'll be fine. But what that did was it made me realize that one, I cannot make a decision based on my emotion. I cannot make a decision because I am a leader. I am being looked at. I cannot make a rash decision like this because if I do this, it creates a domino effect for everything else. I might lose my job. I might come in late because I'm all the way in Indiana. I gotta pay tolls just to get in and out of Indiana. You know what I mean? I gotta find an apartment in less than a week or before I get paid or after I get paid because I haven't got paid yet. That was when we
Shut up. Hey,
but all that, like, that's just how I am. So how I deal with it now, I talk to my wife. I'm literally thinking about getting a therapist too. I'm now like talking to myself too, like telling myself, are you okay? Did this person hurt you? Where is this pain coming from? How are you gonna get better if you're supposed to be in front? And it's hard to be in front. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it's hard to be the person that people rely on. It's really hard. It's more harder than people think because I can't just quit. Even though I can't just quit because of all the shit that's on my shoulder. So that's how I deal with it.
I mean, before we continue, I do want to let you know, man. I said this before off camera. I say it on camera. I don't care. In those situations, in those times, even though, again, you may be the face of something or you may be a leader, like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to be alone in those cases.
Yeah.
Like you said, you talk to your wife, you talk to family, and you think about getting a therapist. That's improvement right there. Yeah. You ain't got to bottle all that up and hold it up high. Shoot, we've all been in a situation, whether if it's a school project or if it's like, you with your friend group or in some case or form, you are the face of something. And when shit gets weird, when shit gets hectic, you may feel like you backed into a corner, but that's not always the case. You don't have to, hide that. You don't have to bottle that up. Right. And I do want to let you know, my DM's open too.
You kind of like your DMs are agree with
but sometimes when you talk to people, it ain't always they need to have an answer. Sometimes, people just need to listen. Oh yeah, I'll be that open ear. Right. Willingly, I'll be that open ear for you if you need it.
I appreciate that.
And that goes for anybody.
That goes for everyone watching. Seriously,
for real. Like, we could be that open ear.
Yep.
Hit up ZX Show at IG.com at ZX Show.
IG.com.
Is it? I think it's IG.com. I don't know. My fault.
You're doing great.
It's my first day out here. I'm sorry. But no, damn. I ran out of questions. No, I'm playing.
Oh, no. No, I'm looking at you. You gotta close it too.
I gotta close it too.
Oh, I close it.
I mean,
go ahead.
Anyway, I was gonna say that I wanted to still like kind of hover on that situation. I didn't know you were gonna talk about that actually. I didn't know.
I kind of slipped out, but you know what? But that's okay because like I think to me that was really the most honest moment in my life. Was like, yo, are you really? I asked myself in the car, like, yo, are you really down to restart everything? I told myself, I'm like, are you down to restart everything? Like everything.
Like, wow.
And I'm like, man, could I? And I'm like, I could. But then I'm like, what good does it bring me to start all the way back down to zero?
Right.
And then that's why it hit me that, like, first of all, shout out my wife. My wife was one telling me to come home, and I came home. I listened to her. She didn't know I was out there, but she thought I was with my family when I left. But she called me, and she told me, and she tried to FaceTime me, and I knew automatically. I'm like, damn, I'm cooked. But she was like, where you at? And I couldn't answer. I try not to answer. I was literally like tear away from not answering her. I was about to hang up too. And I couldn't bring it to myself. And I said, I'm in Indiana. She's like, where in Indiana? I said, not too far from Chicago. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm about to sleep here. And she's like, so you're sleeping on the streets? And when she said that, man, did it hit me because my dad was like, my dad was this. He would point at a homeless person and he would tell me, do you want to have a life like that? He would tell me, finish high school, go to college, or you're going to end up like that. That was my parenting. That my dad spoke to me like a man as 8 years old. Thank you, Oscar. Exactly so. But my dad talks to me like a straight up man at the age of like 6, as much as old enough I could talk. That's right. My dad. He talked to me like I was a man.
The moment you comprehended sentences, he was on it.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to be like that, son. You know what?
Most of my life lessons came from my dad.
What about Pokemon cards, Dad?
Didn't have those either.
Damn.
So for me, like, man, when my wife told me to come home, she said it so sincerely that like I wanted to tear up because it made me realize that one, love is very powerful. Love, because my mom was worried, my dad was worried, everybody else was worried. And I've noticed that, and you said this that hit me too. You said, you don't know when another person is going to go away, or you don't know when a person is going to pass away. And it hit me when you said that, because I realized at that moment, damn, what if my mom caught a heart attack because of how worried she was? Or what if my wife like tried to go find me and she ended up in a car crash?
Just some scary.
And that's why I said the domino effect, right? Of if I do this, other things happen as well.
Whole can of worms, as they say. You don't want to open that.
Exactly. So from the beginning, from our conversation, I wanted to always be neutral, right? Now I was going to start from ground zero. So now it didn't matter. I wasn't balanced at all. I was off tilt. I was literally off the rails. It was the first time I went off the rails. I was like, I'm 20. I can drive. I can go wherever I want. In my mind, that's what I thought. On my mind, I was like, I'm 20 years old. Let me just, whatever. Go to LA. Lucky when we ball. We ball. Hey, hell. So I told myself, I'm like, I have you guys. I have my dad. I have my mom. I have my sisters. I have my little brother. And most importantly, I have my wife now. So would I trade that all for nothing? Absolutely not. That's why I come into every day with you in a smile. That's why I go to my wife as much as I can with a smile. I'm now trying to call my parents every day, because at the end of the day, I think that what I have here is more important than anywhere or anything else. That's what I think.
And I feel like in a lot of those cases, for some people out there that might feel that kind of pressure, and they let it bottle up in that case, they might take that energy and disperse it in the wrong way. Mm-hmm. For one, I'm glad you didn't hurt yourself or anybody.
Yeah.
And for two, again, always got to talk to somebody about that, because again, people who get back into that corner or to that wall, they might, take that a whole different route.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And it's rough.
Yeah.
Like, I've been in that situation, mm-hmm. You just told me you've been in that situation. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can advocate that, like, they've been backed into that corner.
Yeah.
Uh, damn. I don't know where I was going with that, but I will.
No,
say,
that was
like,
great. That's beautiful.
but I will say that, like, it's some rough stuff, man. And I'm glad that you hear that you get again. You just gonna tell me that, dog.
I usually say I don't care. I'm honest as a book. You can tell me. You can ask me about my childhood. You can ask me about my everything.
I mean, what was it like for the young Salazar?
Man, the young Sally. My parents will tell you that I was a wild kid. My parents will tell you that I was fighting everybody and everybody's mama. Like you see those containers over there. Well, yeah, that lid was off because I was hitting somebody with it. Like that's how. Yeah.
Oh,
In church. When they're saying Allah about it, I was banging. Like that just that like, and it wasn't because of anything else. It was just I was born young. My mom had me when she was about 15. And I essentially grew up with my mom. You know what I mean? So I was naturally to be born a wild kid. I grew up in a household where there were too broke to move from the 90s to the 2000s. So I grew up on a lot of old shit. I grew up on VHS tapes, CDs, and a boombox that, you had to pull it out for parties,
yeah.
I grew up on, a lot of Mexican traditions. Yeah. But also I grew up learning two sides, middle class and lower class. That's how I put it. Like my family was middle class because my father owned a business in Granite, so it was easy for me to get like a figure like this when other kids like myself wouldn't really get it.
You pull up to the school with the Goku figure.
Man, I pulled up to school with a John Cena figure, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I would have stole that if I was in your school.
I ain't gonna lie to you. So that side was always a side that I was, like I said, I was spoiled on, right?
Yeah.
The lower class was my grandmother. My grandmother. Yeah, my grandpa. I won't talk too much about my grandpa, but I love my grandpa. My grandpa loved my grandma at a certain point, and she had to raise four daughters on her own. My mom, my aunt Sandra, my aunt Anna, and Lala. She just had to raise all four by herself, and now she had to raise me because my mom was again 15. So, I was her son. My grandma. I was her son. Like, no one can do shit to my grandma or do shit to me because that was my mom and I was her son. So I'm
well, you hear no
emotional about, yeah.
You good.
So my grandma taught me this. My grandma was a hustler. My grandma used to sell balloons out in the fields. If you guys ever go to any parks, and y'all see the blow up balloons with like a little hammer, but it's like the Hulk, it's like Spider-Man, it's like they got this all messed up, but like his fingers are like little cricket and shit. Right. My grandpa, she might have balloons out in the park every single night. During the day, she would garden her plants and she would tell me, no bola, no bola, no bola, no bola, because I used to try to kick the ball and it would land the plants. So she would be like, no bola, vete vaya, chinga tu madre.
Madam, can I get the subtitles?
Oh, my fault.
Please.
No shit.
Oh, shit.
Please. I'll put this on there. I'll put the subtitles. I had to bleep one of the words out, but seriously, my grandma was a hustler. My grandma always fed us. My grandma found a way to feed us. Rather if it was like Maruchan every night, in a big ass pot, right? Or she was a strong woman. For what I know and what I remember, she was a very strong woman. So my whole life, I was just raised by my mom and my grandma. I was raised by two beautiful moms and my dad. My dad, and we're always honest about me and my dad's relationship. My dad was there, but he wasn't there. My dad was there, but I would be at night waiting on him.
I know the feeling.
And he would come, but just at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. when I'm just knocked out. And I had those moments where, he came in a little too spiked up, right? And I had to live through that. And my dad's like, and he was back then any typical Mexican dad. Pow pow. Like it was just that. So anytime I did, belt, cable, everything, and I'm not trying to incriminate my parents, but Mexican kids go through a lot. It's trauma. We don't really talk about it, and it's serious. And it's seriously because it's trauma, and we don't talk about it because we laugh about it, but because we make fun of everything because that's how we were like raised. Like we made fun of your auntie, we made fun of your uncle. Yeah, we laughed through it all. Like we will laugh at a funeral. Like that is something that we would do. Not at the person that died, no, but like we would crack jokes at each other at the funeral, right? Like our culture is way deeper than people think, and I want to talk about that a little bit because of what's going on. Our culture is beautiful, just how any other culture is beautiful. Like I grew up and was raised by a Mexican woman, and she did absolutely everything she could to keep me and my aunties and my siblings eventually fed, warm, and everything else. It didn't matter what she was selling, and she got cancer. So I'm gonna just put it out there. She did get cancer. When I was in 7th grade, I found out that she had cancer. And I remember that day because I remember it was so random. I will never forget that feeling. I was playing my wrestling toys. I had my ring. I had my John Cena. I'm playing. And my mom comes to the door crying and hysterically crying. And I think she didn't know who to talk to because nobody else was in the room besides me and her. Nobody else was in the apartment, just me and her. My dad was out working. My aunties were probably at school or something like that. My grandma was downstairs. I guess they had found out that she had cancer. And she had, I believe at the time, stage 3 to stage 4 cancer. And my mom told me, she dropped the bombshell. Mid crying, I'm just in my room. She's like, Mijo, your grandma has cancer. My first initial reaction is, I didn't know what it was.
Like, what's that?
Yeah, I did say that. I was like, what's cancer? And she explained that she could die. Same thing. Couldn't process that. Grabbed my wrestling ring, threw that shit through the wall, broke like the top piece because of how angry I was. And I started to bawl my eyes out right there. Bawling like crazy. Like I never cried like that before. But we move on. My grandma fought that for about a year. She was supposed to die. Actually, they were telling her that she had less than a year or less than a few months to live. She made it past 2 years. And I had to endure that. And here's the thing around that time. I was super close to my grandma. But here's the fun part. Here's the funny part that God is always reminding me of. And this is why I believe in love is so much. We didn't understand each other. I didn't speak Spanish back then. She didn't speak English back then.
Ooh.
So I don't know how we communicated, but we communicated. And our love was that strong to where I didn't have to say anything. She knew how much I loved her. I knew how much she loved me just by her actions. She took care of me. She walked me every day from elementary school, bro. Like my dad and mom couldn't be there because they were middle class working Mexicans, meaning that they worked every single day of the freaking hour.
Right.
You only get to see them at night. And that's only because you got dinner at night.
Right.
That's literally
For a few hours.
That's literally it. That's literally it. So, boom. Fast forward. Months later, I'm dealing with this. I don't know how to deal with this. I'm just living with my grandma. Throughout the year, I'm spending my time with her, getting to know my grandma, asking questions about her from my mom. How was she? Who was this woman? Found out that she's been the same ever since she was little. She's always been a hustler. She's always been a protector. And this is how much of a protector she is. My auntie had a boyfriend that she didn't like. She would just look at him like, "Ese niño ahí." Like that's literally what she didn't like you. She'd be like,
I ain't know what you're saying, but I can feel it.
Right? Ese niño ahí. That was my grandma. She could tell like who had the heebie-jeebies, right? Like she had the bad vibes. Ooh. One day, that same boyfriend
got that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
One day the boyfriend wanted to just come in because I guess his parents divorced and he was going through a lot. My grandma was like, he was about to leave. My grandma knew this information and she also knew that he wasn't having the best living situation. He said, "Mijo, come in." Sat him down, grabbed him a bowl of soup and ate with him. and literally had a conversation with him. 2 days before that, I'm like hearing my grandma talk shit about him, and then now he's eating soup with him. She's eating soup with him, and I couldn't. At my young age, I couldn't process that. Like, she was genuinely eating soup with him and asking questions about himself and making him laugh, making him feel comfortable. To the point where now he's my uncle. Shout out Junior. He's my uncle now.
Right.
But
Damn.
yeah, right. It's so crazy. So,
Well, that's to the family,
right. The family, right? So moving past that, we're reaching the near stages of my grandma's life. That's the time where I learned how to be a man for real. I cleaned my grandma up. I was sleeping with my grandma. I was taking care of her when I could. Meaning that when she had to go to the bathroom, I was helping her to the bathroom. Right. When she needs to go eat, I was helping her eat. The sad part about cancer was that she couldn't really afford much of it. So I would have to watch her cut the pills in half so that she can go through it. That was probably the worst pain I ever seen my grandma go through. Was chemo and all that. So day she passed, I would never forget. It was in 8th grade. I didn't graduate. It was still the middle of the school year. I came out the bus, got home, and me and my Uncle Junior always play soccer. That was our thing. We always play soccer in the alley, like just regular.
Right.
And my mom said, "Go to your grandma's house." Usually I don't go to my grandma's house by my own. I would usually go with her, but she was just like, "Go to your grandma's house." So I walked to my grandma's house. I knew where it was. So I guess he found out. I guess Junior knew that it was the last day, and Junior took me out to the alley. "Hey, bro, let's go play." Okay, cool. I didn't think much of it. I didn't even see my grandma. I did not see my grandma. I didn't see my grandma yet. We go play, and my mom's like the worst at like keeping a secret. My mom, like, I already knew she went like this to Junior, and in my mind, I didn't know, but I felt something must have happened.
Right.
I went in the room. I went into the house. All of a sudden, the family was there. Now, all of a sudden, a hospital or a ambulance with paramedics and everything are there too. Now they're telling us that she has a couple hours to live. When that hit me, I first thought about the moment I was born, because I heard that when I was born, and this is why I don't talk about my grandpa that much, but I love my grandpa, and I'll tell you why I don't talk about my grandpa. My grandpa didn't want me. He actually wanted to abort. But my grandma was the one that was like, "No, we're keeping this baby." I found out Thanksgiving, by the way, that my grandpa did not want me, that I was supposed to be aborted. Found out Thanksgiving one time. I guess my dad had a little bit too much to drink. My grandma, same thing, and he tried to, truth was just told to me. And I thought about that moment. I thought about that my grandma wanted me. And when we got to that point where, they told us, "Hey, if you need to enter the room, please do. This is her last hour. I understand she wants to spend it with her family." I went in there to see my grandma pass away. And when I was there, I saw every hero of mine cry. My dad, my grandpa, my aunties, my mom. All my heroes were crying. All of them. All my heroes were crying. That's how I saw it as a young kid. Looking back at it now, I was crying hysterically because, and this goes back to what I told you before about bottling up. I told my wife this the other day. It sounds real fucked up, by the way. I'm sorry to say this. It's gonna sound real fucked up.
Do you think, man?
When my grandma died, first thought I thought about was, it doesn't matter if I die. To this day, I think about that because I'm like, why live if the biggest piece of my heart, my love, my everything is gone? Why continue? My mom, my grandma, she was everything to me. Everything. She was the first person to tell my dad, "Stop whooping that boy." She was the first one to come up to me and consult me and taught me what love was. She was that woman to tell me like, hey, it's gonna be okay. When she passed away, and last time when I thought about killing myself, I thought about my grandma, because I'm like, there is like, what's the point? I don't have my love. I don't have that part of my heart anymore. What's the point? And even as a kid, it was so hard for me to say that. So watching my grandma pass away, like seeing my auntie get on top of her and hug her, seeing my dad cry, and my dad is the toughest nail dude. My grandpa doesn't show any emotion but this, straight face all the time, no emotion. He left her and he cried. He cried. And I said to myself, damn, like, what's the point? Like, my dad's gonna die, my grandma gonna die. What's the fucking point? And my grandma means that much to me. And it sucks because the your person like passing away is not the hardest thing. The hardest thing to me was not her passing away. The hardest thing was that 8th grade, I'm not gonna see my grandma watch me graduate. High school, I'm not gonna see my grandma watch me graduate. Even here, I'm not gonna see. She can't see what I'm doing. That's the hardest thing for me. That's the hardest thing for me, because now she can't even see what her son is doing. And I know motherfucking Spanish now, so I can now have a conversation with him. All I asked God one night was, can I please have a conversation with my grandma in Spanish? And I could actually learn about her and see what she liked as a little girl, and see what she thought of me when she was living, to see her true feelings about me and about everything else, because I didn't get that chance to talk to her. I didn't get that chance to sit down and have a real conversation. I'm blessed that everyone has a grandmother, a mother, and a father that they could talk to. I didn't really get the chance to talk to my grandmother. I wanted to tell her that, and if I would, I would tell her that my grandma, I'm married, I have a nice job, I have beautiful friends. Everything you said about me ended up becoming true anyways.
Wow.
And so afterwards, I was depressed. Like, I didn't even. I looked at life different.
Yeah.
I saw gray clouds every day. I was in 8th grade telling people, I can't wait till I die. With a straight face. Because I saw my grandma die, dude. It was a lot. I was 8th grade, so I was probably 13, 14. I was young. I was the youngest in that room. And they wanted me, and not that they wanted me to see, but I'm happy that I saw that, because I understand this. I want to die with my family in the room. I don't want to die in a hospital. I want to die with my family in the room, because the last thing I want to see is my son, my wife, my daughters, my mom, my dad, whatever.
Salazar Jr.
I want to see them before I pass away, so I can tell God to take that picture, and so I can keep it with me in heaven. That's that. So young Alex, he went through a lot. But young Alex also understood that it's okay, that I'm gonna be okay. One day I'm gonna be okay. And I think that one day is now. Like, seriously, I think that one day is now, because I'm blessed to come here. I want to do a video where I wear meta glasses, and I just come in here and I see everyone I dab up. Every smile, every person from administrations to Ruth to everybody. I want to get a full clip of me just, hey, what's up? Hey. And I want to get a clip of people saying, Alex. Oh my gosh. Alex, that. Because now when I go to when my funeral comes, God forbid, now I can have 1,000 people in the room and 1,000 people outside. And I want them all to celebrate. I want them all to celebrate. I don't want no one to be sad. I want them all.
I'm gonna be sad, motherfucker.
But that was young. That was young me. This first time I've ever talked about it is openly. And I think I let a lot out of my chest.
Appreciate you sharing.
But no, yeah.
It takes a lot to talk about something like that, man. Because especially like, that grieving process. Oh, it's not easy. Never had, never will be.
Never will be.
And then sometimes, like in some cases, talking about it just immediately it breaks something within you.
Oh yeah.
But you was straight faced for most of the time, dog. Like you too.
Like I saw it. Like, what other pain can I be delivered from if that was the greatest pain? Like Kanye said it best. He asked God to deliver him from pain, and his mom passed away. What other pain can I go through that's more painful than that? I lost my mom. That's my mom. My mom knows that my mom tells you like this. She's like, I'm his mom, but she was her real mom. That's how my mom would tell you.
my pops used to tell me, like we would crack jokes about like my biological mother, because like I told you before, she a little loony, and he'll say something like, oh, your mom came around today, and I'd be like, oh, grandma right there, and he'd be like, nah, your mom. I'm like, see, that's my mother, but my grandma, like I'll point to my grandma, that's my mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in that same way, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But like, damn, man. Like, I didn't think this episode was gonna get that deep, bro. How you do that, bro?
You do that, bro. You gotta learn this. The person that laughs the most probably went through the biggest shit. I can say I went through the biggest shit. Adam, like I told him earlier, he went through the biggest shit. People don't know much about Adam, but if you go watch his episode, you'll be surprised. People don't know.
I gotta do some studying.
People don't know much about you, but go look at your episode, right? See the things that you talked about. Like people are, and that's why I love the show.
Right.
You don't know what's behind the mask. You don't know what's behind every laugh. You don't know what's behind every dialogue. You don't know what your instructor in this case was and how he got here.
You just forgot you was a teacher here.
And I'm 21. Like I said, I'm 21. And the thing is that I can be confident and say that like I'm very mature for my age.
First off, you young as hell. You younger than me. I'm 23. This motherfucker is what, 20.
Well, Eric is young.
21. Well, Eric is the youngest, yes, but you have gotten this far at such a young age, and I was gonna ask you that, like, like you said, that there are people that are older than you and they have more experience and stuff like that, but you pretty much on their same level. Does that scare you?
No, because like I said, like, what am I going to be scared about?
True.
You know what I mean? Like, and then also the thing is like, I'm not the type where I let my age dictate my ego. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm 21, you're older, and da. No, I'm not going to be like that. I like when a person that's older than me, more seasoned than me, to tell me how it is.
Right.
That's where I appreciate the
Cut the BS.
Yeah. If you're gonna stunt that you're older than me, then I'm not gonna talk to you. But if you're gonna actually like, Master Roshi this and be like, try to like teach me something that I don't know.
Got a couple of tricks up my sleeve you may want to know.
So that to me is where I'm like, okay, cool.
Make sure you delete all tabs before you hand over the computer. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not intimidated at all.
I was just curious because, like, you got a lot going on, man. You married, you a teacher, you got a show, you got this, you got that, you got everything, and it needs more. You know what I mean? Man, I need more, bro. Say, like, you got it, man. Like, I wanna say that, like, and I ain't trying to pull no heartstrings, nothing.
No, you good.
But I think your grandma would be proud of you, of the man you've become. Seriously, man. You have achieved a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on, 21, motherfucker. Yo,
Yeah, man.
he's got his own show. Like,
Yeah.
I'm the substitute, man. Hold on. Yeah, cut that up real quick.
I face you.
I'm subbing in. This is his whole shebang, man. Like, dude, like before meeting you, having a show was like, or being a part of a show or having a show was like a thought for me. It wasn't even a goal yet. I was like, oh, it'd be cool if I had a podcast, you know. And then I see you doing it, and I'm like, oh damn, that's cool. For actually, that the one episode where I was just in the background, just like writing in my notebook, I was scribbling for real. I was just like, this is kind of cool. Like, I want to do something like that. And I talked to Ruth about it, like, yo, I want to do a show on Mondays, you know what I'm saying? And then I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't attack that. Then you was like, yo, you can like, you know, you can sit in the background or you can sit and watch them do it. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm watching. Now all of a sudden I blink, I'm in here. And then I blink again and you telling me, oh yeah, I'm 21. 21? Damn, what? My fault.
Okay.
I went on tangent for a second, but
I think the crazy part is that. Oh, actually, I forgot to tell you so. So back to talking about my grandpa. I forgot to tell you this. I forgot to tell you about it because so my grandma didn't want me, right? That was the whole thing. Just didn't want, and that's fine. I was okay with that. I lived with that. 2 years ago, exactly 2 years ago, my mom had reached out to me. She was like, "Hey, your grandpa's divorced, and he's alone in the house. Could you spend some time with him over there? And you live with your grandpa, right? Just check up on him." Because my grandpa actually called my mom and saying, "I need Alex." Right? So
crazy how things come by.
my grandpa was, at one point just like, "Hey, whatever." Right? Now he needed me. Now he needed company. He needed moral support. He needed someone to help him go through his divorce, help him go through not being such a drunk, and to keep him in that sober light. I literally spent, I would say, close to a year with my grandpa. Close to a year. 6 to 8 months, I think. I live with my grandpa. Yeah. 6 to 8 months. I was dating my wife at the time, and I was going to church still. I was just normal life, but my normal life was just now taking care of him. So I didn't go home as much as I would. I literally was living with him. I slept in the same room as him. I made sure he was good on his appointments. I picked him up one time because he got too drunk on the floor, and I put him on the bed, and I slept in the couch.
The DW.
Yeah, dude, all that.
And
I literally was taking care of him until he found another wife, and he told me to get lost because
he's like, I don't.
he's still Mexican. That's what I say. Still
That's crazy.
But that was my biggest turnaround in life. Like, that was like, man, my grandpa now needs me. Like, I told myself when I found that out, like, my mom was like, yeah, your grandpa needs you. I was like, my grandpa?
You ain't harbor no anger towards that at all, or you're just like,
oh, because well, a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. A little bit was like, oh man, F this dude. But I had to understand that he's at a most vulnerable state in his life.
Right.
The Superman that I knew it's like watching like that uncle or whatever. And when Mexicans are watching this, they're gonna understand. Latinos, sorry. That one uncle, you seen that one uncle depressed, the one that's always drinking and partying and
black 5 years old,
like telling you since 5 years old, why don't you got a girlfriend even though you haven't hit puberty yet? Like it's always, you got that one uncle. It's like seeing that one uncle depressed, because I saw him depressed. I saw him vulnerable, weak. I never seen that side of him. Never seen that shell. Never seen him like actually almost cough up in his sleep. Didn't see that. So it was almost like my grandma was there to tell me that, like, I did it for a reason. Now he needs you. And now I'm like taking care of him, eating with him, getting to know him more. I asked him more about my grandma. He told me a little bit. He didn't want to talk about it too much, but I was learning a lot about my grandma at that point.
Like, it was a full circle
It
moment.
was a full circle moment.
That's that's kind of crazy out there. It's just come back around like, yeah, now you need me, motherfucker. No, sorry. Motherfucker. Hey, whoa, whoa.
Nah, but it was cool. It was cool. Like I think what I took away from that was always be kind to others. Always show appreciation to others. And even your worst enemies, show them love, compassion. Like, not every
You better than me.
like, well, here I think okay. The whole point of the show is that I want you to be human. I want to be known to be human because Jesus was God trying to be human, not human trying to be God.
That's a bar.
Right? Look, write it down. Quote of the going. Quote of the because like Jesus, like if you read the Bible, Jesus was trying to be more human than he was trying to be God. One key factor was before he was getting crucified, Peter, one of the disciples, tried to cut off the ears of a Roman soldier.
Right.
And out of anger, because they caught the homeboy, and he was just trying to like cut.
They got my boy Jesus, man. Oh my Jesus.
But they tried to cut his ear off, and Jesus had told him, "You don't think I would send my angels to put wrath on them? You don't think I can do that? You don't think I can call a realm of angels to help me, save me? You don't think I can get out of these chains and get out of this thing all by myself?"
Really float out the whole situation.
Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so to me, my philosophy is this. I don't care how much money I have. I don't care how many friends I have. I don't care wherever I'm at in life. I'm human, and I'm going to treat you like human. And I don't care how much money you made. I don't care how many friends you know. I don't even care how many followers you have. I don't even care.
Good, because I got like no bread. Like, sorry, you got me with that, guys. I got you with the guys.
Oh my God, yes. $25. But
I was thinking like 40, but we'll settle on 25.
20 for McDonald's, 20 for you. I only got $40. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, but damn,
I'm buying you food and giving you gas. Right. Anyway, so
my fault.
to me, like, being a human is more than just being like whatever. Being a human is like understanding that you're no better than anybody.
Right.
And back to what I said, I'm zero, meaning I ain't better than anybody. I'm neutral.
In the middle. Neutral. Yeah. I was actually thinking, and I ain't trying to rewrite your whole show, man. I ain't gonna do that for you. But I was thinking before I asked you the question, like, what does ZX even mean? Like, how the fuck he come up with that? I'm thinking, like, of all the possibilities of what the hell is.
What did you think it was?
Zero excuses.
Huh? That's funny.
Like, like, you got zero excuses. You gotta keep going, keep doing what you're doing. That's what I thought it first meant. Like, it was like, okay, when I first asked you, I think it was in the same room. I think you got cut off because you said that you used to be called Zero. I remember that. Yeah. And I was just like, Zero, what though? Like, what the X? What does the X mean, bro? So
the Zero Latinx.
Latinx.
Zero Latinx.
I'm just like, I had like the brain cells of boiled bubble gum trying to figure it out for like a good like couple weeks.
Oh my God.
But yeah. Like, I was just throwing that out there. If you want to use it, go ahead, copyright it. I like it.
I think no, but
stick with the OG.
Stick with the OG. I think I'm stick with the OG. But that's actually funny because someone thought the same thing. My wife thought that. She was like, "Does it mean for like zero like excuses or anything like that?" I'm like, no. Even though it is technically, but you can say that there was zero excuses for these people to tell their life stories because they had every right to say anything and they sold the truth, right? So
shoot, this is their truth. They could vent if they wanted to. Shoot, they could talk about whatever.
So my question to you is,
oh, now you got a question for me?
My show.
Oh no,
no.
Go ahead.
What does ZX mean to you? The ZX show mean to you?
Man, you stole my question.
Yeah. All right, ask it. It's all good. Ask it first.
Rewrite that.
Last question. Hold on.
So, hold on.
See, when I try to take over the show.
So, my last question to you is, what does ZX show mean to you?
I thought, you know what's funny? I thought about this in the car. Um, the ZX show means to me, and I could put in one word: culture. Culture, because I'm trying to change the culture. Of everything, but it's also community and love. Culture, community, love. That's all I think about when I talk about the show. You have, and watch the show. You see the people that are on the show, right? I try to bring every race, every gender, every religion. I don't care. Everybody, every parts of the world, I want on the show,
Right.
because I want to learn you from a human aspect. Like if I was to interview like a celebrity, I want to talk about the brand. I ain't talking about like Logan Paul. I ain't talking about who rhyme. I ain't talking about your boxing career. I'm trying to know you.
Right.
Who are you? Why? How did you get here? Like,
Why do you think the way you do?
why do you think the way you do, for real? Like, me is always like community, love, and culture, and also service, because this is a service. This is for people to, listen to the show and call a hotline and figure out like, hey, we can help you in this way.
Right.
DM us, whatever. My whole goal is to one day feed the homeless with y'all. Go out there, feed the homeless.
I'm down.
You know what I mean? Like, help people in need. That's my goal. Go to countries that need it more than we do, and help them out. That is my
ZX show in Africa.
Man, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
I know a friend who got family in Africa. Actually, I got some family in Africa.
I think I would love that to be in Africa. I think I would love to be anywhere part of the world that's other than USA.
Fair enough. So y'all want to go to Canada? Eric said he down. Oh, low key, we could try some British food when we hit the UK.
See, I want to go to the UK. We go.
I want to try toad in the hole, bruh.
All right. Well,
pause.
I got you. Well, you want to close out? Or you want me to close out?
I'll close out with one more thing. For the people out there, what would you tell them in terms of like, seeking help or for advancing their mental health for the better?
I think the very first step is being honest. That's the first step.
Right.
Like, I was recently talking to somebody, and I know that person was going through a lot, but that person was so stuck on, I'm positive, I'm going to be positive. And I told him, I'm like, why do you want to be positive when clearly you're destroyed? Be honest that you're destroyed. Be honest that you're feeling these types of ways. Because what that does is that already indicates to you like, okay, I have a problem. What could be my solution? A lot of times people keep living through their problems because they haven't really confronted it in a way where they can truly understand that there is something wrong. People are gonna be like, yeah, I'm this, I'm that, but whatever. They make fun of it now.
Right.
Like, they be like, oh, I'm depressed.
And they're ready to open that door.
And they're not ready to open that door. The reason why you keep being depressed and why you keep putting out those quotes and those stories and those those little like the little
relatable posts.
Yeah, really posts. The reason why that is because you have not confronted what's your actual problem. What you're doing is you're putting all these things around it so that you don't have to talk about it. You'll find relatable things because that only jabs the blow. That only jabs it. It doesn't completely finish everything. It's just jab, 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 jab. That's all you're doing. You're not fixing the problem. You're just jabbing it at it. You're making me think about it even more. Why am I going to listen to something relatable that I'm going through? Yeah, it's for part of healing, but also it's like, it's going to keep me still in that one place.
Right.
Like, that's just how it's going to be. So for my advice is be honest, be sincere with yourself. If you're a helper or a leader or someone that helps everybody else, do the exact same thing you do for people to yourself. Simple. If you are the type to help others, help yourself. You know what to say to others. Why can't you say it for yourself?
Talk to him.
Talk to him, Pastor. Like, oh my God. My whole thing is my whole philosophy is this: if you need help, why aren't you grabbing for the rope? Why are you not grabbing for the lifeguard, for the life, you know, the little parachute, you know what I mean?
Life raft.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you not grabbing it? Because people will throw it. Why are you not grabbing it?
Mm.
You just like to be drowning. Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that you can feel. People just love to feel it and not really get over it. That's why, like, shout out to Marcel, but he taught me a valuable lesson of keep away from toxic people, because some toxic people know they have a problem, and rather than fixing it, they bring other people along with them in their little swirl, in the little twirl of a water tornado, because they haven't confronted. That's how bad.
The whirlpool.
Well, sorry, Marcel. A whirlpool. That's how you know that hasn't been solved, because it's in a whirlpool. Because and think about it, it goes deeper than that. So really, is really saying that your problems is that deep to where you don't want to fix it. You don't want to do nothing about it. So you just grab people with you, or you grab yourself with you.
Y'all better be listening. Lock in with them. They're like,
but that's all. Like, I would just tell people that simply love yourself. That's all you can do. Love yourself. Take it a day at a time. If you're going through like really bad stuff, and I mean like really bad shit, like families are passing away, money's low, find the little things in life to keep you afloat.
Right.
That's all. Find little things. Find a little passion. Like, what I do now is all like when summer hits, I think when I'll do my depression more, because I'm able to walk. I love walking. I love taking those walks. I love looking at nature. I love like taking on my phone and not listening to any music, just going out. Just breathing, walking. I'll talk to strangers too, just to let it out. You know, so I've been doing the show.
Dude, you've been putting other people. Shoot.
But yeah. So go ahead, my friend. I want you to cover.
I got you.
Carpet's all yours.
Well, that was season 4?
Yeah,
This is the season 4 finale with, of course, our special guest, the face of it all, the little leader in the pack, you know what I'm saying? Alex Salazar. And of course, I'm your substitute for now, Starboy Jay.
I like the tie you brought.
I know. It's my favorite tie. I've been wearing it since middle school. But I do want to say I'm honored again to be on the show again, or be a part of the crew even. And of course, thank you for having me, ask you the questions this time,
That's perfect.
And
you did a great job.
Again, like, this is another beautiful episode. With that being said, have a good night. Be safe wherever y'all may be going, and live life to the fullest.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, that too.
He don't do the YouTube thing, so.
I'm new. This my first
time. It's his birthday out here. Okay, excuse me.
Like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on notifications. Right, thank you. Shout out Oscar. And that's it.
Follow us on IG. Follow us on IG. I got you, bro. No, like you said, follow us on Instagram. We've been blowing up a lot on Instagram. We just had a post up right now about our fan who was on the show. Shout out Big Al.
Shout out Big Al. He's funny, bro. I love him.
He was really funny. But other than that, like you said, guys, subscribe. And if you want to be a part of the show, or you think you have a friend that want to be a part of the show, please DM us, talk to me. Eric's always recommending a bunch of people to me, and I love it. Love it all. And yeah, you want to bring a friend, bring yourself over. We'd love to have you over to the show. Don't forget that your mental health is very important. And don't forget about yourself. Love yourself. We love you. Take care. Please. Bye.